What's up, guys? Today, chill day. Slow start to the day, but I think we ended up having like 9 leads total come in today. 3 or 4 through SEO, and then the rest through Thumbtack. We're getting free leads from Thumbtack because we did like unlimited spend, but it doesn't actually unlimited spend because we max out the credit card, so that way it looks like we still have that setting turned on even though we're not actually spending. So if you're using Thumbtack, there's still a trick for you. What could I talk about today that would be extremely valuable to you guys? Actually, that's not the approach I want to take. The approach I want to take is I'm documenting. So we did a little sales training with our operations manager today. We're realizing I had a really interesting thing that this guy that I called, he's got a cleaning company in Florida, and he's got 2 killer VAs, and he said that the more detailed your SOP is, the less likely they're actually reference and use it. Because when the situation pops up, they can't actually reference it right then because they're in the middle of the situation, there's a lot going on, and so it's a good resource to have to be able to have things in detail, but you really need like a resource library, and then you need kind of like a checklist of like what needs to be done by the end of the day. And to be able to get those things done, then you can reference those things. So for instance, the goal, having on your checklist, make 100 chicken nuggets plated and on the table so that we can eat. And then, so we didn't even have that, like the checklist of like what needs to be done check marked by the end of the day. We had a general like do this, but it was like combined with an SOP. So it wasn't like it was good because we can use it, we understand things, but now we're trying to come at it from a perspective of, okay, we don't know how to structure a team, we don't know how to best lead a team. Let's read something, let's reach out to people, let's just try to learn and see the best way to do things. So me and Elijah came up with an idea of like having a checklist for things that need to be done and having like a calendar blocking sort of style. And I think we're kind of doing both. We're more on the checklist side, and we're giving a general like, hey, in the calendar wise, like we need to make sure a sales sweep happens in the morning, an email sweep happens twice a day, those kind of things. But really focusing on the checklist. Back to the chicken nuggies. 100 chicken nuggies need to be plated on the table. That's the end of the day checklist. That's what needs to happen result wise, output wise. Okay. The recipe on the back of the chicken nugget thing is 2 important things. 1, what temperature does it need to be at in the oven? 2, how long is it going to cook in the oven? There you go. Great SOP right there. Tells you exactly what you need to know, and the rest is common sense. The problem is when you start creating an SOP that starts off, like imagine you're reading the back of instructions for how to cook chicken nuggets, and it says, first, read these instructions. Second, make sure to memorize and remember these instructions as you go about. Feel free to hold this in your hand as you're doing this. Third, go to your fridge, open the fridge. 4, open the vegetable cabinet, which should be at degrees of 35 to 40. Fourth, take your right hand, or fifth, take your right hand and open. It's like, that's way too much. Like, you should just be able to say, grab thing from fridge, or this is going to require this ingredient, which you just know is going to be in the fridge, right? So he said something funny. He said the more detailed, you would think that the more detailed would be more helpful, but actually the more detailed, the less likely that people are going to actually reference and use it because they just glaze over. Eyes just glaze over and it just doesn't help, right? So combination of here's the SOP, and here's general, like here's how things go. And then kind of at the bottom, or like smaller toggles, like what if this goes wrong? What if this? Just small things that happen sometimes, but like make them collapsible, make it out of the way. So if they end up running into that situation, like, oh, it's there, and then they open it, right? But get that out of the way. Just have the general stuff in the SOPs, how to do things. And this is just for them to reference, but like once they know it, they know it. And then this is like checklists, like end of day, contacts have been called in contact. Every contact in the pipeline has been touched twice. Every clean has someone assigned to it. Every pass clean that happened after 4:30 yesterday and ended by 4:30 today at end of day, you are calling and making sure that the clean went well, talk to the customer, and then you can point to the SOP script, right? You can or point to the call script as an SOP. And like if we have to, if the you're on that call script and going through and they weren't happy with something, then reference the reclean SOP if we need to go back and reclean. Like, but the checklist is just this basic one-liner, and I need to make sure that these are hit by the end of the day. As an owner, right? I need to make sure these things are happening. So that's kind of the way we're approaching it. We're really trying to take like extreme ownership of like if something's messed up, like it's me and Elijah's fault, what do we need to do to fix it? What can we change about the systems and the way we do things? So we think this is going to be a good way to go. We've kind of gone about the approach of like asking like, hey, what do you think could help you or what would be better? And kind of like he just doesn't know what, he knows something's off or like it's not being, things are getting done how we want them to be, but he doesn't really know what to do to fix it. So that's why we're kind of like brainstorming and talking to people, calling around. That's why your network is extremely important. Speaking of network, I met Shark. He's built the largest evangelizing to Muslim community in, I think, in the world, online community at least. And his watch is just, battery's gone. My ex gave it to me. Good watch. I'm looking for watches, but just beat up. Sorry. Shark, I met at a men's like retreat with like Brandon Forbes, Hunter Swain, a couple other guys that were really solid. It's actually how I got into the cleaning business. Met a kid there that was doing, met a friend there that was doing well in his cleaning business, teaching others, and was like, okay, I'll learn. To be honest, the course was shite. Wasn't happy with it, but it forced me to put money behind something and put my money where my mouth was. And once I committed to it, I was like, I have to get money back out of this. Like I put money into this. Like I'm gonna make money from doing this. Like I'm committed. So that was honestly the biggest value. It's honestly why I've considered helping other people with cleaning businesses, because the help that's out there isn't great. And my friend's awesome. He's cool, but I just wasn't impressed. Like I spent 6 months building the course and the course material and everything, the support, everything behind the like ready to go template shoot stuff behind the streaming course that I did, and that's just for streaming, and I was selling it for like $200. I spent like so much money on this. I want to say it was like $5,000. It was supposed to be 8, but like it was $5,000, $3,000 up front and 4 payments of $500. And it was nowhere even close to what I had made for $200, $300. So it was really frustrating. Not really frustrating. Yeah, it was really frustrating because you just start the business off at like a loss, right? At a negative that sucked. Anyways, Shark. Yeah, networking, good. Very, very good. Shark has a upcoming event, like Faith Hustle or something. Him, Brandon, Hunter are all speakers at this event happening in Dallas. So I was like, I messaged you to them and I was like, hey, do you guys need a video? Any of you need a video guy? And I'm just like, dude, I want a free ticket. I want a free ticket. I love shooting. I haven't shot in a while, and they could use the content, and I don't mind doing it. Like, it's a labor of love, so I would just enjoy it. I'm not editing. If you can send that to someone else, you can't even pay me to edit. I don't want to edit. I don't want to do it, but I'll get you footage. So yeah, then I'm like, oh shoot, dude, I could do that with the cards. Like I could get Nolan and my friend Nick there, and they could do content for the cards, and I could be focused on just meeting people and shooting content for. Shark Bit. So Shark Bit, that's crazy. He was like, yeah, dude, I'm super down. So yeah, just gonna go shoot like behind the scenes stuff for him. He's gonna give a talk or whatever. Super excited for that. So yeah, see how that goes. I've just realized that most of the times when I've gotten into events or like networking type, or just I've gone out and just been around people like in business environments like that, something good comes out of it. Um, I just have never purposely really tried to put myself out there. I'm just kind of a stay at home, get in front of the computer and work, or jump on phone calls, and just do, I don't know, everything I've done is like bootstrapped and like I do it myself. I don't need no one else sort of mentality. And um, yeah, and I very much enjoy like working with Elijah, and I wouldn't have any other way. And I'm like, man, like I could meet other people. I could meet, you know, other things could happen. Who knows? So, anyways, doing that, it's gonna be fun. I realize I haven't committed to the cards. I haven't committed to personal content. I've thrown it up in the air, but the reality is, once I say I'm going to do it, I am doing it. Then there has to be action that backs up the words. And the problem for me, oftentimes in the beginning, is that it becomes a I'm thinking about this, I'm theorizing, and I'm symbolizing, and I'm sketching out, and but really, I just need to like, content has to go out today. What is that? Like, there has to be an output for today. There has to be an output today for if I'm going to do this business. If I'm going to do this business, there needs to be an output today. And the success, it's almost like re-engineering or reverse engineering the success of reverse engineering what I want, which is the success of content and success of business, which is that there needs to be a bunch of content. And I'm not doing the actions that would get me there. So just, I shouldn't expect for it to be successful until I decide to take those actions. So when I commit, I need to commit if I'm going to commit. Otherwise, I'm just yapping, and it's just pointless. Everyone has ideas, everyone has thoughts, and it's just like, and what? You probably have thoughts, you probably have ideas and things that you wanted to do, but the reality is you didn't do them, and they're just thoughts and ideas, and you're going to continue to sit on them, and they're going to die and go away. Someone else is going to do them first, or you're just going to lose hope, or you'll become numb to those hopes and ideas and dreams. And I don't want that. I don't want that for myself. I don't want to stay comfortable. I want to be pushed. I was talking to Elijah today, and I'm like, I don't wake up and feel like an animal. I don't wake up and feel like I'm just like on fire. I don't feel like I have anything that's like super, super important for me to do. There are things that are like, that would be good to do, but like the website and such that I'm continuing to work on, it's going to, have great results, but it's just like, we're fine as is, really. Like, yeah, if we want to scale to 30-40K by middle of next year, yeah, it needs to be done. It needs to be done, yeah. But like, there's no pressure putting it on today. Like, there's no pressure in pushing out a week, pushing out 2 weeks, pushing out a month. Like, what's the big deal, Versus before, I had to wake up, I had to take calls, I had to make sure cleaners were there where they were supposed to be. I had to make sure cleans were on the right time and were priced right. I had to make sure leads were followed up with. Like, that drove me. I woke up out of bed and there were things that needed to be done. So I got out of bed and I went and did those things. And I did that the entire day. And I took a little break for myself in the middle of the day to eat, kind of refresh a little bit. But I got right back into it. Then I came home and I read, or I shot a video, or I watched something for an hour, 2 hours, scrolled for an hour longer than I wanted to, knocked out and did the same thing the next day. I don't have that right now. And I want that. I'm built for that. I'm built for that. That feels really good. I get things done. So it's really just pulling the trigger, right? Like, it's really just committing. And I think for me, juggling, like, I want to drop everything and just do that, right? But that's like not good. Like, I have this tunnel vision, like single-minded, or I'm super scatterbrained. And I need this in between. I need this, like, I could be working on 10 different businesses, but like from 9 to 10 a.m., I'm working on one business only during that time. And from 10 to 11 a.m., like, I only do that. This is all, and from 11 to 12, I only do this. And that requires discipline. It requires things being set out in a way. So, I can't see another way better to do it than to time block and to do nothing but that thing during that time block. I'll give it a try tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I don't think I have anything else that needs to be done. Elijah was supposed to do a podcast today. That's why we went to Dallas. Played some pickleball. It was fun. Drove to Dallas. We were talking. He was also knocking doors around the area, pre-foreclosures. So, yeah. Let's get after it tomorrow. Let's do it. I'm gonna go play some Minecraft right now. Said all that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go play some games. Now you need the, you don't need, but there's something that you can't purchase. There's things in life that people work to and hope for in the future that they don't realize that they have immediate access to. Just requires digging a bit deeper into yourself. Reminds me of the story with the American man who came to China. This Chinese man he was just a fisherman, and you've probably heard the story, but if you haven't, it's a great story. The American businessman comes to the fisherman and says, "Oh my gosh, like how many fish did you get today?" And he's like, "I got 5 fish. I got 1 to be able to feed my family, and I sold the other 4. And we have a bit of money, then we were able to do, well with." He's like, "Well, if you had 2 boats and you hired a friend, then you could also, you could get 10 fish a day. And then you could give him 2 of the fish, and then you could keep 2 of the fish, and then you could sell them." And then he's like, "Well, if you have 5 boats, and then you have 10 boats, and then if you have 50 boats, and you have a whole fleet, then you'd be able to just do whatever you want." And so the Chinese man bought into it and was like, just very influenced. I was like, okay. And so he did, and blew up this whole fleet. And all this he realized for what he wanted in the beginning, which he just wanted to be at home and spend time with his family and have enough for what he needs. So he spent all this time, 5 years building up this huge fishing fleet and business, just so that way he could go home and spend time with his family the same he could have, from the very beginning. And then 5 years in, I feel like it's one of those things where you realize, like, dang, I actually liked fishing. Like, I want to go, I want to go fish. So, yeah. Anyways, love you guys. Talk soon.